making swing adjustments at the plate can either be complicated or simple. We do simple. Let me tell you how.
You cannot feel this energy.
I understand how it feels. I was a hitter. I teach hitting. I get it. It is an incredibly difficult thing to do. You've got a round bat and a round ball. You got a pitcher on an elevated mound throwing different pitches and different velocities, and it's 9 against 1, and it is incredibly difficult to do. So what we want to do is we want to be as successful as we can. And at the highest level, if you're successful 30% of the time, you're doing great. You go to the Hall of Fame. Well, if you're successful on a math test 30% of the time, you get to go to 9th grade again. You can't have that level of success in really anything else. And for us, success is only 30%. So we make things very, very simple. Of course, everybody gets that. How we make it simple. Now we're drawing the line of delineation. How do we do it? And it's very, very simple the way we do it, but it does require a little bit of a process. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away to an interview I did with Coach Jeff Hogan. He and I worked together in college for many, many years, and he's got a little system that he uses with his players to keep that swing adjustment thing very, very simple for him. Now, I want you to stay tuned. At the end, I'm going to give you an additional takeaway that you can use to make those swing adjustments very, very simple and know exactly what you need to do to keep the good swings alive so you create a streak and isolate the bad swings so they don't turn into a slump. So again, stay tuned to the end. I'm going to give you some takeaways on exactly how to do that. Right now, let's get to that interview with Coach Hogan.
And I also encourage guys to make a note card of the things that they're going through their head when they're hot. Mm-hmm. Not when you're not. I want your note card to look, limited stride. Just getting the foot down early enough. And,
find the time.
Yeah, getting what was working and what I was thinking about when I was cooking.
Right.
And if you can do that, then you're allowing yourself a go-to.
Yep. We call it, and you taught me a lot of this as well, I call it cues. It's a cue.
Yeah.
And it's just an educational thing. So lead shoulder of the ball. That's a cue.
You could
long
cue yourself.
Cue. Right. And I'll have guys, you'll have guys that struggle with one thing. Like I've got a college guy right now, very shouldery, lots of shoulder action, really struggles staying on the ball. Lead shoulder comes out. So lead shoulder to the ball is written on his batting glove, LSTB. Mm-hmm. So when he takes that swing, when I said know what it feels like, he takes that long, lunky swing with the lead shoulder flies out, he steps out.
Oh, yeah.
Looks at his batting glove, and the next one could be hit to the moon.
Laser.
Right. Those little, it's less than people think.
Oh.
It's just, but it takes somebody with an eye that is more than just squashing bugs and knocking knuckles. It's bigger. That's swinging. That's
and when
different.
you say it's less than people think, you're going to think of it is so much less than people think that it only takes a quarter of a second about for the whole thing.
The whole thing to happen.
So how many freaking things can you think about in a quarter of a second?
All of this has to happen.
So let's go simple.
Yeah.
Let's go simple. And you can just, it's also nice if you have somebody on your team that sort of knows your swing. Mm-hmm. A guy that you hit with. And he can just say, hey man, remember what Hogan told you?
You're big.
Yeah, your swing is so long. It's all arms,
Yeah.
You're not, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And they can talk to each other. Just having that guy to go to. Right. Or you say, man, your swing is really sweet right now. Your hands are just so relaxed and fast, and it's just to make it easy on yourself.
Amazing, right? Having a buddy, a swing buddy that can help. You want to make sure that you got a little note card, super simple stuff. And here's what you're going to find when you're doing stuff like that, when you're writing some things down, and it doesn't have to be much. Look at this. Just when you're, just go to your phone. Just put it on your notepad in your phone. And very simply, you're just going to do the things you're doing well. It's going to be really hard for you at first because you don't know what to write down because it's so feel-based. You can't see yourself swing, right? You can't see yourself swing. You can only feel yourself swing. That's why a swing buddy helps. No, you're getting your foot down right on time. You just know, you have the feeling of timing, but your swing buddy will say, no, it's coming down right on time, right on that fastball. Or the swing buddy will say, your head is perfectly still. You know the feeling of getting the extension out, but you don't know. He'll be able to tell you. Coaches will be able to tell you to a certain degree as well. But when you start writing this stuff down, it'll take a while. And what'll happen is you're going to start seeing a pattern emerge. I'm hitting well when my head is still. And that, you wrote that down 15 times out of 22 days. Oh, well, that may be a thing for me. And like I talked about, every hitter, every pitcher, everybody has a thing that is kind of what they need to work on. So some hitters have that lead shoulder, like I talked about, issue where it wants to fly out. Those are usually your bigger, stronger guys. And some guys bite their swing off, some guys head slide, whatever that case may be. If you start writing it down and you have somebody that's helping you with it, you'll see that pattern start to emerge. And when I'm swinging good, my head is still. When I'm swinging good, my lead foot is on time. When I'm swinging good, I'm extending through contact. So make sure that if you're going to take this on and you start writing things down, you don't get frustrated and quit. You have to do it enough to where a pattern will emerge and something will stand out for you. That's one big takeaway. Now, the second big takeaway. I've actually put this entire process in a course that I teach. And the great thing about the course I teach, it's free. You can just log on to the website, which I'll show you at the end on how to do that, and you'll get a little packet, not too long, super simple, and you'll be able to use the course to write down these swing feelings and write down drills that lead to actions and actions that lead to either failure or success, and then you'll know how to self-correct your swing so that you can take a good day at the plate, know why you have a good day at the plate, and then take those good swing habits, reinforce them so you have a streak starting that week or starting that month. Then if you have a bad day at the plate, which we all have bad days at the plate, you'll be able to go back, look at what happened, and go into that process and easily fix it so a bad day at the plate doesn't turn into a slump. Now, it's super simple, it's super easy, but the reason I put this course out there is because that's the first thing I have to do with new hitters, even college guys. They'll come back and they don't have a pre-swing process. We call it an IHP, an individual hitting process. They don't have one. If I don't have a process prior to the game, I'm not preparing for the game, I'm not reinforcing good swing habits, and I don't know how to isolate bad swing habits. So building that process, whether that just be a note card, like Coach Hogan said, using your phone, or actually downloading and taking my free course, you need to have some kind of a process that gets you ready to play today, no matter who you're facing, hard thrower, soft thrower, curveball guy, whatever. You need to have a process for that. Then you need to have a process where you can know your swing habits and how to reinforce them so they repeat. And then also have a process where you can go back in and isolate something that you need to get rid of so you don't create a slump. If you found value in that information, you are going to love the full interview I did with Coach Hogan. On that podcast, we talked about his experience as a two-sport All-American athlete in college, his expectations as a high school coach, as a college coach, and a pro ball coach, and how he prepared guys at all levels to achieve at the highest level they could possible, including several big leaguers. And as a bonus, if you have a question, drop it in the comment section of that podcast, because on my second interview with Coach Hogan, that's right, we interview all our folks 2 times, I devote the second interview to the questions that you drop in that comment section. Now make sure that you like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so YouTube will let you know the next time we're posting a video. And to make it easy for you to find the podcast with Coach Hogan and I put the link in the description. So click on that link, watch that podcast, and put your questions in the comment section. And on my second interview, I'll be sure to ask them. One last thing, I am giving away one of our hitting courses for free, our IHP course. An IHP is an individual hitting process that'll help you learn how to prepare to hit any pitcher, throwing any pitch at any velocity. It'll also teach you how to take a good day at the plate and turn it into a streak, and isolate a bad day at the plate so it doesn't turn into a slump. The best thing about the IHP program is that any hitter can use it using any hitting coach and any hitting philosophy. It is that versatile. I've put a link in the description below so you can get signed up for your free IHP course today, and maybe you'll make one of our highlight reels. We'll see you on the field.
You cannot feel this energy.